Welcome back to CPR's Clubhouse Live. My name is CPR Jose Ortiz, and I'm being joined by the members of the class of our own compilation of musical palette. Right now, on the dais, we have Serge. We also have Jose Montalvo. How are you, sir? And also, we have Alex Zuniga, Latin Nation, Ricardo Vazquez, and joining us as well is Krysthal. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good, guys.
Doing good.
Listen, I'm gonna go one on one here. How did Alex and Latin Nation convince you to be part of this fourth compilation? Jose Montalvo, you go first, sir.
Well, kind of easy. I mean, I've been in the first three. Kind of a no-brainer when he asked me to do this one, and it's actually more of an honor because it's my first solo one of the four. So
Yeah,
it was an easy choice.
You guys have been working together for 10 years.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more. How does it feel to have this kind of partnership with someone for 10 years?
Oh, it's great. I mean, Alex is a great working with him, and Artie's it's like family. So it's been a really good journey and a very learning experience throughout the whole journey. You know, they push you to the limits, and I love that.
Good. We also have Serge with us. Serge is in an undisclosed location. Serge, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for. I'm glad to be here. I work with Artie Rodriguez, so I met Alex and we hit it off. Great people, and once he asked me, and it was an honor for me to be on it. So it was my first, album with him to be on this compilation. So why not? You know what I mean? It's an experience for me. So I'm honored to be on it.
Yeah, and thank you so much for joining us here on the show. Also on this dais, we have the heart collector herself, Krysthal. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Nice to have you here. Now, did they threaten you and made you go on this compilation?
No, they didn't threaten me. No. No, they didn't threaten me. It was amazing to work with them, though. Alex and Artie are both amazing, sweet, hardworking people, and I feel really honored that they asked me to be a part of the compilation.
Yeah. Now you're just off of a great year on social media, on the internet with your first single, Heart Collector. And how does it feel now to be part of this ensemble of different characters?
It feels amazing because I feel like we all distribute something different to the table, and we all have different talents and different voices. So it's very amazing to see all that come together and make a beautiful album. So I'm really happy about it.
Rolando, how did he convince you to get part and be part of the fourth compilation?
He got us on his hands and knees and begged, and I just said, okay.
Absolutely. That's how it's supposed to be after 10 years. He has to start groveling. Something has to happen.
No, he just give me a call and let me know that he's doing something. And once again, it was the class of our own. And I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm always in. I'm always willing to do something, for anybody if the time is right and if I'm able to do it. So yeah, that's the way it was approached. And I was most happy to say yes.
And I'm glad that you're here. I really am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Krysthal, you being the youngest, just turned 18. This is what they call your parents' music. How is it doing more freestyle now in your second year? And is it something that you want to continue doing?
It's really fun actually. I'm actually enjoying the freestyle genre. I'm currently working on something R&B, so I don't think I'm gonna stay in freestyle forever. But I do love you guys so much, and I appreciate the support. And I'll bring out another freestyle hit for sure. So don't worry, it's coming out soon.
Serge, you talk about how you've been working with Artie Rodriguez. How is this song on this compilation different from all your other projects?
Well, first of all, I have Edie on there. She's doing background vocals. And the only person that has done background vocals on my tracks is Artie. So having Edie on there is a blessing, and I'm honored because I used to listen to her as a kid. And also, this song is for my wife, all my other tracks that I wrote are off the top of my head. Some of them are written on the way to work in the morning. Some of them are written on the way to home from work, in the afternoon. One of them, the song "Dream," was written in the shower. You know what I mean? And my wife always asked me, "Who are you writing about?" And nobody in particular. It's just things that pop off the top of my head. So with this one, it was written for my wife. So it's different, you know.
Yeah, I have to pause for a moment. Did you say that you used to listen to Edie when you were a kid?
When I was young, yeah, it's crazy. So now to have her on one of my tracks, it's an honor, So
We're being rejoined by Ricardo Vazquez. Your song on this compilation is probably the most personal one of the entire compilation. It's a dedication to Alizé, who we know very much, we love very much. Was it truly hard to put pen to paper for this song?
Yes. It took a couple of takes. Writing it itself, it just kind of seemed effortless because I just thought about the things that we should do, and putting it in the song, it just made sense. Also, to know that in truth, I can't just hit her phone number and there's going to be no answer. I mean, that took a lot out of me too. So the writing, thankfully with having, good production, it does help. And it just kind of got me in the right direction of just, where I needed to be in my head when it came down to the actual writing of it and everything from the very beginning through the journey itself. So yeah, it did take quite some, it took some chopping and editing, but at the end, that's what it was. That's what I came up with. I'm pleased to say that it was.
For those of you that are watching this broadcast, Alizé was the ultimate freestyle fan. And I know this because I had the honor of knowing her as well. There was one year where we did a Puerto Rican festival, and there was also a show in Pennsylvania, I believe. So she drove, and what was the location where she lived? Was it Buffalo?
We're from Rochester, New York.
Rochester, New York, right?
Yeah.
So she went from Rochester, New York to Springfield, Massachusetts, and then to
5 hours.
Philadelphia.
For another 3 hours.
Yeah. And so she was the ultimate fan. So, and this is at a time where there was no MapQuest or there was no one of these map or Googles on the phone. She was very much inclined to find every freestyle show and be part of it. And so you're like, how did she make it there where she was just over here? And that is something that, it's very unforgettable and something that we want to touch base on more during this broadcast.
Sure.
The Montalvo brothers are here. You guys are 10 years in with Alice the Latin Nation and New Style Records. This has become like a small family for you guys. Are you going to continue? And when is the Montalvo family album?
I'm going slowly. Jose is the one that's picking up a little steam at the moment. We are working on something as far as whether it's a maxi or an album, but we are working on something that we're planning to take out sometime, hopefully this year or next year. They give a take on his busy schedule, and I'll let him inform you of the rest of what he's planning to do.
I'm working on it. And it's
you want.
And as long as I'm able to work with Alex, Artie, and New Style Family, Ricky, I'll continue doing it. I've been doing it for 10 years. Maybe, hopefully, CPR, you can get Angel back in it so we can do another NSR CD and include one of the songs with him.
What I wanted to say about the Montalvo family is that you have a bloodline now, right? A bloodline that's in freestyle. You have Rolando, you have Jose, you got that LSP thing going. You have your daughter Jose, who's on the compilation MEJ, and it's just this bloodline of different aspects of your family. So I would like to see the Montalvo bloodline compilation just to hear the different sounds coming from your family.
That's interesting. Something we can think about and doing. Absolutely.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
Serge,
National collaboration.
You're also a promoter. Is that correct?
I wouldn't say I'm a promoter, but I put on a couple of shows. You know,
Yeah.
I put on a couple. Alex been on one of mine, and I've been with a company called Elbow Promotions that I be with, and they retired. They moved to Florida, so after they did that, I took over and I did a few shows after them. But I wouldn't consider myself a promoter. I mean, I just put on a couple of shows for us. That's about it.
So right now we're talking to the folks from In a Class of Our Own, a musical palette, volume number 4. We talk about Ricardo Vazquez having a personal message in his song. I wanted to tell you that I got to listen to it on DJ Porky's birthday, which is a friend of mine who was a DJ on the radio station who also passed away. So I wasn't really ready to listen to your song. And then when I heard you singing Alizé's name, to me, it was got me choked up. And it was right before I got to work. So just wanted to share that, it was a touching dedication. Jose, what is your song about on this album, on this compilation?
Artie wrote it and produced it. Pretty much about falling in love with the wrong person. She took me for a game and took it from there.
I hope they come out with a CD single, because you'll be the biggest superhero that Freestyle's ever seen, right? So you got the Captain America shield. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? The Black Widow. You fighting the Black Widow.
Yeah, Black Widow. Yeah.
I have so many ideas. Come talk to me a little later on.
Yeah, we gotta sit down and talk about it then.
Yeah. I want to say too that Rolando Montalvo, I did say that I'm a fan, but I'm a fan because I've been a big fan of the song The Promise. The Promise is a remake that you did many years back, and I say that for me it's better than the original, and it's
Thank
something
you.
that I truly thought that you vocally smashed. And anyone who ever tells me different, I will argue with them to the end of time. So just want to let you know. Right
Thank you
now,
so
I'm
much.
gonna, and you also have some stuff on the NSR label in your earlier stages of your career that I thought was great too. And I think that people weren't ready for your voice, but then once they got to know your voice, they really took to it. And when you did The Promise for me, that was just amazing, and probably the one of the most perfect renditions of a song I've ever heard.
Thank you so
We're
much.
going to be joined right now by Eric Cruz, who's also here. Um, and we have a full house, and that's awesome. I really like that. Joey T, I think, is still doing his hair. He's blow drying it. He's doing highlights, you know what I mean? And by the time he's done, it'll probably be over. But Eric, thank you so much for joining us here. We're talking about the compilation. How did they convince you to be part of the compilation?
Well, I'm out of the game for a little while and speaking to Jose and Rolando, my two buddies in crime. Uh, then I spoke to Alex, and Alex was like, I know you away from the game for a little bit, but they convinced me. They're my buddies, man. I've known them for so many years, so I'll do anything for them.
So you, Eric, Jose, and Rolando, you guys are collectively known as LSP. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Yes.
There's a
Yes.
song. There's a song that you did a video for with Jacqueline Rose called "There's Nothing Left to Say."
Yeah.
The video is the side part of it. I think that for me, that team up that you guys had was excellent, and I never got a chance to let you know publicly how I felt about that song, but I really enjoyed that track. I thought that vocally, you guys all sounded great together. You guys looked like a posse that was about to beat someone up. You know what I mean? Yeah. And
I
the
don't.
camera the camera angles that Jose were aerial and stuff like that, and I'm like, I would have messed with that guy. But what were we gonna say, Eric?
I don't know if you know the story about that song. That song was actually going to be trashed. Artie didn't like it, and we told him give us a chance to perform it, give us a chance to record it, and look what happened. It became one of our most popular songs.
Yeah, and I think that the compliment of her voice really blended well with all three of the men singing. So I thought it was a very well done production and vocal arrangement, and I have to give you compliments on that one.
Well, we
Krysthal,
appreciate it.
thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
Alex and Latin Nation, you kind of outdone yourself with my one and only love. I know that I haven't touched on it, but this is one of your better vocal performances where I'm like, are you going for like a Disney vibe? Are you trying to do like the soundtrack to Snow White Part 2 or something?
Nah, I mean this song when Fernando sent it to me, Phase, when he sent it to me, he's like, I don't know what to do with this song. I don't know if you have anybody who wants to do it. And I fell in love with it from the beginning. Like as soon as I heard, I'm like, the words just came on, and I wrote it right then and there. It took me no more than 10 minutes, and when I sent it to him, I was like, I want it. So we ended up working on it, and then went to Artie, and I gave him the ideas, and actually it was going in a whole different direction on the chorus part. And Artie goes, no, because they're gonna start comparing you to so and so. I'm not gonna mention it because I don't want to ruin that. And so Artie had me rearrange the chorus so that way it just signified me. And I just wanted to do something different vocally, just to challenge myself. And that's what the song came out. I
I
wanted to make it a dedication.
I have to give you a compliment. I sent the song over to a few of your comrades in freestyle. I sent it to a couple producers, and I didn't tell them who it was. I just sent the song to them because I want to get their reaction. I don't like people to know who's singing it. And it was just a lot of compliments, and they were like, "That's Alex," and they're like, "Get the front door." They didn't use those. They didn't use those words.
Yeah.
I love Nick Cologne is one of the people that I send the songs to, and he likes to send video reactions to the songs. And then they're hilarious. I don't post them, but they're hilarious. And so giving you compliments, saying that this song really deserves the audience's ears and stuff like that, and we should give it an opportunity on our show. Really fighting for it. I did play it. I do play it, but a lot of people behind the scenes really pulling for you on this one.
I'm thankful, and I'm thank you for doing that. I mean, that's even a bigger honor because people didn't know until you told them. So and I'd rather have it that way, that the people don't know who it is, and they could actually give you an honest feedback. So thank you so much, when to whoever, good or bad, thank you so much because
And so
I'm
we
here to
also,
do what I can do.
yeah, absolutely, and we'll talk about that more. We talk about the under 25 movement. You got MEJ, Serene, Krysthal on the compilation, which is great, and the future's there if they want to take it. I know that they all want to try different forms of music and remixes and all this stuff, and please open the doors for that to happen as well. But let me ask you about the group that you put together. Was this entire compilation because you were reluctant to do it? Did you already have a mind who you wanted to be part of it, or was it hard to put the team together to assemble the palette?
No, I just wanted to bring back some of the old of my of the original team, and then I just want, like, as always, I always try to incorporate new people, and the three young ladies were given to me to have them on, and then of course Serge, Aldo, and Joey T. Well, Joey, I'd known Joey for so many years, so as I always tell everybody, I challenge them, do something good, do something better. And I always want to work with Artie, not because I know Artie, but just because I know he was going to get the best out of them. So I just
I
wanted
think
something solid.
I think patience is something that everyone could agree Artie has. Anybody else here want to share their experience with Artie and your thoughts? I'll start with Ricardo.
It's been a blast since early 2000s that I met him to do my first track with Marilyn Sanchez, and it just became endless from there. Uh, I learned to with him. I learned to learn how to write telling a story, and so I used a lot of his practice throughout his life, and kind of just took it upon myself to kind of follow, certain steps that'll help me for the better with writing and, of course, with vocals. And it's just a pleasure to be in the studio with him. Living down here for the last 15 years, that I finally was able to get back up. Any moment that I can get an opportunity to record with him, it's just always going to be amazing and very uplifting.
Serge, let me ask you, how was your experience working with Artie, and how is he different from anybody that you worked with or may have worked with before?
Artie, I tell you, that guy. I don't think there's anybody that I've ever worked with like as good as Artie. I'm gonna say that flat out. He is the type of guy that if you don't have it right, you're not gonna leave that studio. He will keep you in that hot box until you have it right, and he will not give up on you. Like I said, if you're not doing it right, you're not leaving. And if you're there too long, you might have to come back the next day or another session. That's the type of guy he is. So working with him, it's been a ride. The guy's amazing to me. He pulls everything that he can do. So it's a pleasure, and I honestly don't think I'll ever work with anybody else but Artie. You know what I mean? I will work with other producers on remixes and stuff like that, but when it comes down to it, Artie's for me.
Krysthal, you're the youngest one in the team. How was it working with Artie in the studio?
I'm sorry, you lagged out really bad. What did you say?
I said you're the youngest person in this team. How was it working with Artie in the studio?
It was amazing. He was such a sweet person. He really helped me a lot, and he made sure that I was very comfortable in the studio, and told me, he helped me do it. He's like, do that, do this. And I was like, I did my thing in there, and it was really amazing working with him. And the product ended up coming out great, so it was very good, as you can see.
Rolando, how was your experience, or how has it been 10 years of working with Artie Rodriguez?
Artie's the only one that I've worked with. There's no reason for me to leave and find somebody else. He's just been that good, and he works you hard to the bone. If you're not in it, he's gonna let you know. And my 1 hour and a half of drive, it went down the toilet. I have to drive an hour and a half back, and I'll see him on a different day. So that's how he is, and I appreciate that, because the last thing I want to do is have a great beat, rhythm, whatever, but a poorly made vocal. So at this point, he works me to the bone, and I appreciate that a lot. He makes you sweat. Let's just put it that way, in that box.
If they were to swap that box for DNA, it'll find every talented singer.
Exactly.
I mean, it'll have Coro in there, Judy Torres. That box has so many. I mean, if Law and Order SVU went in there, or CSI, and they did a little swab, there'll be a compilation right there. There'll be a palette and a half there.
Oh,
exactly.
wow.
Yeah,
Eric
but
Cruz. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes,
Go ahead.
sir.
Artie's a pure delight to work with. I wouldn't change it for anything.
Do you agree with what Rolando's saying right now, Eric?
Oh yeah, Artie. He's our mentor. We went in there first time, and he's changed us as artists, as songwriters, and as human beings. Artie has a great heart. He's a great human being, and as you've noticed throughout the years, our vocals have changed. We've gotten better. So we thank Artie for our careers. We really do.
And now the most respected man in this whole entire forum, Jose Montalvo. How do you feel, sir?
Working with Artie is amazing. I love that not only is he your producer, but he's your teacher. He is your mentor. He works you. He knows your limits. He shows you how to work around your limits. He pushes you, and he doesn't let you get down on yourself. And I think that's the biggest thing I love about him. He always keeps you in a positive spirit, no matter how down you may be, how you felt the session was. So he's the best. I wouldn't go anybody else other than him. And I'm hoping to get my daughter up so she can record with him one track, so she can get that experience as well.
Alex Zuniga, Latin Nation, Mr. Colombia, right? because the first thing he said when he got on this broadcast was, I just came from an international tour of Colombia. Like we don't know already, right? Every time anybody sees him in person, he's showing them the video. You know what I mean? But with the Colombia, right? You know, with the Colombia, you saw me in Colombia. You want to see it again? Did you see that guy crying for me? The guy was crying for me. I put on social media that I want my girl to look at me the way that guy looked at Alex Latin Nation when he was in concert. Hey, right now, I would like to give you the forum so you guys can discuss your songs. Serge, I will start with you because you look like you're in an undisclosed location, and you look like you look like you're about to do a hit on somebody like Soprano style. So I want to let you go first. Serge, if I look at the list of the songs here, you have a song called Your Love.
Yes.
Talk to us about the song and let us know more about it.
Well, like I said before, that song is written for my wife. It was something I wanted to do, being that all my other songs are off the top of my head. And so I want to do something for my wife. So that song right there is what we came up with. LG helped me with that track, and that was pretty much it. I got that track and call up Artie, and we put a beat to it, and I went up there, sat in the hot box, and got it done. And Alex had called me up and asked me if I wanted to be a part of this, and I said absolutely, no doubt. And he says, well, we need a track, so on and so forth. I said, I got just the track for you now. I'm working on it right now. So that's how that track came about, man. And I appreciate you, Alex. I really do. And
Thank you for being a part of this.
And it's an honor to be on this track with all these great artists. So I'm really happy, man. And God bless everybody. And CPR, thank you for having me on here. And,
listen, be careful, because Tony Soprano, I think, is there, and I'm sorry.
I ain't worried about. I ain't worried about that.
Well, listen, Serge, thank you so much for being here with us. And again, your track number 12, Your Love, dedicated to your wife as part of a musical palette in a class of our own, body number 4. Take care of yourself, sir.
Thank you, sir.
We're here once again at CPR's Clubhouse Live. We still have LSP here with us, and we also have Krysthal. She's coming back with us. Krysthal, I know that you're still here with us. We want to discuss your song really quickly. Your song is called Count on You. Let me know a little bit about your song and let the audience know more about this song of yours on the compilation.
Well, I feel like Ricardo could explain the song better since he is the one. Yes, Ricardo, I'll talk about you. Yes, you.
Well, you guys can do it together.
Yeah. Okay. Ricardo.
Yeah. The song was written many moons ago, and again, as we were working on the other in a class of our own compilations, we just wrote so many tracks that a lot of them just kind of fell in the back. And then usually what happens is that Alex and I, we kind of just go through stuff that we have, and it's like, hey, this hasn't been used yet, and see if we could try to find somebody that just is interested in wanting to move forward with it. And when he finally told me, he's like, listen, I finally found someone. I took a moment to go back into the studio to kind of just record the ghost track and to find out that this one right here was going to be the one that was nominated for this particular song. And ideally, the song itself was, I wanted to try to write something for, it's funny, I wanted to write something for Artie. And I originally, had a thought process of like, how long that he's been with Joanne. And I was like, I think it'd be nice for somebody to maybe write him something for once, because he writes so much. The man has like, encyclopedias worth of just productions and lyrics that he does. So it was thought of to maybe write him something nice. And then since, it didn't happen, again, the track got recycled. And then just got reintroduced, and again, Krysthal being the one nominated to record the vocals. I was in tears. I was in literal tears when I started the studio to the after. I was the after party. I was like,
minutes, right?
So,
Jose, you got the opportunity to work solo on this compilation. Um, please let us know more about being solo on this compilation, and also, um, your part of it.
Yeah, so it's a unique experience for me to be solo. So used to be having Rolando and Eric there in the studio when we were recording our songs for LSP. This song came about back in 2020, right by the pandemic. When I released As of Today, I was supposed to release Love of My Life and then Black Widow later on in the year, but due to circumstances beyond everybody's control, the song kind of got pushed back. And when Alex came about and said, "Hey, I'm thinking of doing Volume 4. If I do it, I want you to do Black Widow. It's the only song I want you to do for that compilation. So I'll ask you to do it and give it everything you got." And I was going to go do it. And then I called Artie. I said, "You know what? I need some more time." I got the time that I needed. I went in, I recorded the song. I love the track. I Artie did a magnificent job writing and producing, and I can't thank Rolando and Eric and Alex and Ricky enough for pushing. Edie, who's a big part of of my team as well. She's always helping me out. So it's a great honor to be a part of it.
There's also a collaboration. They have the Montalvo featuring Alex Latin Nation. How was it working and getting your voices all together?
For me, it was great. I mean, it's a song that I wrote with my other cousin, Julio, Rolando's brother, 30 years ago. And to see that song come to life is amazing. And, it would have been a nice LSP track, but unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond everybody's control, Eric wasn't able to do it. So Rolando and I said, well, let's ask Alex if he'll be willing to do it. And Alex said, oh, absolutely. And just hearing the way it came out, I felt bad for Alex because Artie did Artie and changed lyrics when he got there, and he's like, "I just learned the song. What do you mean you changed the lyrics on me?" So, but it was a great experience in there.
Well, Jose, thank you so much for joining us as part of this collaboration, this palette, and much luck to you. Much luck to your daughter, and please stop being so intimidating. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Thank you for having me. Have a great one, guys.
Take care.
Eric Cruz, we're here with you as well. You have your own song called Double Crossed. Tell us about Double Crossed.
Well, the song was originally written for a rock group, and I have Rolando pick out a song and music for the song, and he did the melody for it. And the song was written about a guy that kept taking this girl back, and she kept betraying him. She kept cheating on him, and he kept taking her back, and that's basically what the song is about. And then I brought it to Rolando's attention, and he sent me his demo to it. Of course, when I went to Artie's dungeon, completely changed the whole melody of the song. But look at what we have. I loved it though, the way it came out. I really did.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to contribute as a single on this compilation as well. And I want to also thank you for being here as part of this palette. And nothing but the best for you in the future.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Alex, for having me be a part of this collaboration.
No, thank you, puppy.
And by the way,
talk soon.
thank you for being the best well-dressed guy on the compilation too. You got the
really?
suits on. not right now, but I've seen your press photos. You got the little boina on. You got the little, you know what I mean. You got the LSP swag. So
thank
we'll
you.
talk
Appreciate
soon, man.
it.
Have a good one.
All right, man. You guys have a great one.
You too.
Rolando, I promise.
Yes, sir.
The promise. Look, man. Like I said, man, I'm a fan, and I heard your beginnings on the NSR compilations, your melody, and what is the other song that I really love? The title escapes me. Do you remember?
How I Feel.
Yes. What a great song.
Thank you.
What a great song.
That
And then
song,
we talk about The Promise, and that's my favorite one. I can listen to that. And you know what? I actually, when I talk about, like, I did the top 25 remakes of all time, and you were on it, but I never finished it. I only did part one, never finished it. but the fact that you were part of that top 25 is how highly I regard that track.
Thank you
Because
so much.
like I said, I don't know. I know that Artie recorded it with you. I know it's a remake, but I don't know how he was able to capture the vocals with the beats and like really dedicate the beats to sounding like the original. It's just an amazing song. And if you have a chance, I know it's not part of this compilation. It was part of a previous compilation.
Hmm.
I believe it was part of volume number three or
Three,
two, three, right?
three.
Three, right? And so I have a CD copy. I bought the digital from the previous one. I just enjoy that. I think that's one of the best remakes of all time. So I just want to make sure you know
Thank you
that.
so much. Thank you.
But on this compilation number four, you're featured with the LSP crew, but there's also a Rolando Montalvo track on here. It's called "There's No Going Back." Tell me a little bit about it.
Just like Shining Star, there's no going back. It's pretty old. I would say 30, 29 years old. It was something that was brought up when I heard a certain beat that Adriano made. It kind of like hit me. I'm like, it sounds good for this type of song. The song is pretty simple. It's about betrayal. The person betrayed this person, and the person singing, of course, is really fed up about it, and he doesn't want anything to do with her, pretty much. But yeah, it was a song that was made back then. I heard it, we liked it, we rewrote it again, and went straight to Artie's. And I actually had two songs available, and out of the two songs, "There's No Going Back" was the favorite for Artie and Alex. So we went on and just recorded it.
So right
And
now we're gonna have a small discussion about the greatest fan of all time, Alize. Um, Alex Zuniga, how did you come to get to know Alize?
Actually, I would say maybe roughly 97. It was introduced by Armando and Taz, and became friends years after that. It was a true fan and indeed to a lot of us, and it was back in the Laro days and the Freestyle Nation page days. So yeah, it was beyond an honor.
How about you, Ricardo? Where did you get to meet, or how did you meet Alize?
I got to meet Alize because she's from my hometown. We're both from Rochester, New York. But Gary Jewell, aka DJ Foreplay, they were friends, and she worked at Wendy's as a part time because she did travel in the day, Wendy's at night. She was the manager. He was like, "Yo, come with me to go meet this girl. Her name's Alize. She's a big freestyle head, and she'll give you free food too." So I'm like, "Hey, you can't pass up free food." But from there, like once we met and we sat and we talked, and as we were starting to get ready for like performances and touring and stuff, she just happened to be around, and then from there, her and I just became like two peas in a pod, and then the whole rest of the journey just started from there.
I met Alize through the Freestyle Nation boards. You guys coming here to do the Puerto Rican festivals in Springfield. Getting to know her was great, right? I knew her from afar for a long time, even though she was going everywhere and meeting everyone. I just had this respect for her. You know what I mean? But I know that she traveled like no one traveled before. She put the miles in to prove that she was like the greatest fan of all time. And then finally, I got to label her that. I got to label her the ultimate fan of our genre of music. You dedicated your song to her, and to me, it was the song that kind of captured me the most. I got to listen to it on my way to work, and Alex Zuniga Dropboxed it to me, and I'm like, now that you're gone, and that day happened to be the birthday of one of my best friends of all time, DJ Porky. So I played it, and I'm driving, and I'm listening to the words, and I'm like, I'm not ready to listen to this because then in the chorus you're you're belting out her name, Alize, Alize, and I'm like, son of a bitch, man, he just got me, and, it's just like I just wasn't ready. I put it on my social media page. I just wasn't ready, and And not only was I not ready to listen to that dedication, but I don't think any of us was ready to lose her or let her go. Um, tell me
It was.
more about that experience for you.
I just got a random text from another artist and said to call me like immediately. And jokingly, it's like, okay, I'm thinking maybe, hey, do a gig or something. But when I finally called and I just heard the hurt, and I froze. I was working. I was like about 10 minutes going into lunch, and I was still at work. And I froze for like a full minute, like in disbelief. And I immediately called her best friend. I called her cousin. I called her uncle. I called Tag. I was like, I was crushed, completely crushed. I had to take the whole rest of the day off, and I had to really just kind of find myself, collect myself, and then just communicate with whoever could tell me what was happening. The whole couple days, I was just asking to see, what happened, who could tell me like what really happened, when it happened and stuff. And then finally, I was able to talk to her uncle, and I was able to talk to her best friend. That kind of broke down the short story to me, and that was that. And it hurt me most because, of course, I couldn't get to Rochester in time. It was just, you never know, because you could die, be here today, die tomorrow, and then just not be able to plan out to just, focus on that. So yeah, I couldn't get to Rochester for the ceremony. So of course that crushed me even more. For a whole month I was just a wreck, and then immediately I just started listening to some productions that I had, and I was just kind of, freelancing the lyrics, and then finally kind of put things into perspective. Like, okay, this is it, this is dedication. And the lyrics, surprisingly, it didn't take that long to write it. It just took me, no, let me say, it was easy to write. It just took me a little time to pattern it properly. I had a ghost track, recorded the vocals with the ghost track, got the new production done, and then Artie said that I needed to be more heartfelt, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm already like pouring my tears out in the studio trying to record this song, trying to take myself, and I understood what he said. I understood the assignment, as they say. And when he was able to bring the production down a lower octave, I went into the studio and I just belted, and it was it from there. Afterwards, the idea was, I was like, there should be some kind of like choir. There's some kind of like, church background, choir type background. So Alex said, focus on your leads. I got an idea, and the idea just, I was like, what's going on? What's taking so long? It's taking so long. It's taking so long. And finally, he's like, no, it'll be worth it at the end. And when we were able to ask Edie and Carla to do the harmonies for it, and the chant and the choir at the end, that was it.
Thank you so much for being here. This has been fun. It's been a little bit of a task, but I wouldn't have had it happen any other way. Congratulations on Volume 4. Hopefully,
Thank you.
guys are already working on Volume 5.
One step at a time.
Yeah, challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. Thank you, CPR.
Well,
we appreciate your time.
I'm sure that Artie's going to have the buffet next, right? It's going to be a smorgasbord or something like that,
Yeah.
It'll be Volume 5, the charcuterie of freestyle.
Yeah. Or Chuck E. Cheese, where a kid can be a kid. I don't know.
Oh.
But listen, thank you so much, guys, for being here, and I appreciate your time. And don't forget to check out In a Class of Our Own and Musical Palette. It's available on CD right now, correct?
Correct. And it will be available on digital March 20th.